Am I the asshole for yelling at my husband then leaving him at the clinic after his prank? Me F28 and my husband M34 have been married for a year. Before I met him I got a dog named Ollie, a German Shepherd, that was originally my sister's but she passed away and I immediately took him to live with me. My husband adores Ollie. He sometimes jokes that he's married to me only because of Ollie. He likes making jokes and doing pranks but some of them are downright nasty. He'd always get me worried by lying saying Ollie ran off when he was hiding him in a place I didn't know about. He knows how much worried and stressed out those pranks make me but he says my reaction is priceless and worth the yelling, lashing afterwards. Ollie needed to be taken to the veterinary clinic for a check-up. My husband said he'd handle it. During the second visit to get the results, I received a call from my husband and his voice sounded like he wasn't okay. I asked what was wrong. I got really worried after he said it was about Ollie. I was starting to shake. I kept asking what was going on and he told me that Ollie's been diagnosed with cancer. He said he wanted me to come over to the clinic as soon as possible because Ollie was with the vet. I couldn't stand. I started asking, is that why Ollie lost weight lately? And such. I rushed to the clinic and found my husband standing near the entrance with Ollie. First thing I noticed was him laughing hysterically, telling me that I really bought into his lie. I was confused. He said it was just a prank. Ollie is perfectly healthy and handed me the results to check. After I checked I lost it. I lashed out at him. NGL. I called him awful names and his face suddenly turned red like he didn't expect me to react that way. He argued that I made it a big deal obviously and was being mean to him over a prank that didn't even last an hour. I kept lashing out. I didn't give him a chance to keep talking. I took Ollie and the keys, then I left. I arrived to the clinic in a taxi. I left him at the clinic while me and Ollie went home by the car. 3 hours later he came back and was upset. He usually laughs even in serious situations but this time he didn't. He argued that I shouldn't have left him like that and that I overreacted. Said he was trying to make good memories to look back on and laugh at but I was unnecessarily overreacting. He stopped talking after that. Just wanted to mention that this started months after his father's passing. His family said he never mentions his dad nor keep anything of his, although they were very close. I never met his father but they told me he wasn't suffering from anything and his death was sudden and my husband had a hard time processing it. This could be the reason for his behavior. Not the asshole. This isn't a prank, this is abuse. He wanted you to feel like your beloved dog was dying. For his amusement. He laughed at your pain. Even him hiding the dog and saying he ran away is unbelievably cruel. His words aside, I think he's jealous of Ollie. Forget leaving him at the clinic, you should consider leaving his lying, cruel ass entirely. Edit. Thanks for the awards, folks. Forwarding all the good vibes to Op and Ollie. The dog you adore ran away. Pause. Kidding. Haha. No, actually I took it to the vet, and FHE vet says it has cancer. Pause. Not really. Ha ha. Christ, what an asshole. Say this. Sweetie, I apologize for overreacting. I love you. Pause. Kidding. Get the fuck out. Not the asshole. Edit. Thank you for the awards, kind people. You made my day. Op, I'm not issuing a judgment because I'm concerned. Your husband sounds like he's escalating. I would get the dog out of the house if possible. Good memories? That makes my skin crawl. Not the asshole. Get divorce papers printed, hand them to him and then after 1 hour laugh in his face, that it was a prank. Or not, woman shrugging. Not the asshole. I hope you don't plan to have kids with him. He sounds like a terrible person. Not the asshole. Your husband is a grade A, class 1, total and complete awe. What he's doing is not funny, but abusive, considering how this affects you mentally and physically. You did not, nor do not, overreact. You had every right to leave him like that and if didn't like it, then maybe he should be rethinking his idea of humor. If you plan on staying married to this awe, you might want to sit down and have a long discussion about what is and is not funny. Not the asshole. You are being bullied by your husband. Not the asshole. He got what he deserved. This was absolutely cruel and not a prank. He's cruel to you to laugh at your sadness. That's beyond fucked up. You leaving him there was the direct result of his shitty actions. He was trying to make good memories to look back on and laugh at. He's the only one laughing at those memories. Those are not good memories. What the fuck is wrong with this person? Not the asshole. I loathe people like your husband. They're not jokes or pranks, he's a bully. Not the asshole. Serve him divorce papers then say it's just a prank a day or two later. Ah yes, good memories. Hun, remember that time you sent me into a frenzied panic thinking my dog was dying? Such good times. Not the asshole. Remember that time you cried when I told you your dog had cancer? Haha, that was gold. That's all kinds of fucked up. Jokes aren't meant to emotionally manipulate someone into anxiety. There's pranking, and there's being an ass. He is an ass, not the asshole. What is that term used to describe abusers? Darvo. I think it goes, deny. Attack. Reverse victim and offender. I didn't do anything wrong. It's just a prank for good memories. You are blowing this out of proportion. You're an asshole for leaving me at the clinic. You yelled at me, you are the problem. You are overreacting and causing this fight, so I'm not talking to you until you apologize. He has lost friends over a similar cruel prank pretending a friend was dead. He's using emotions and things you love and care about as a joke. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, and you should leave him if this behavior doesn't improve. What if you weren't arriving by taxi and drove upset after one of his pranks and had an accident? Can you actually trust him with your dog ever again? What if he thinks a prank is not telling you that the dog has a serious condition? What happens if you have kids and he pranks you that one fell in the playground and is in hospital with a broken arm? He is a massive awe. Those are not pranks. What he is doing is just cruel, and he obviously does not give a flying fuck about your feelings. I am going to be blunt here: unless he can actually agree to change this behavior and does so, you should leave him. Don't settle for someone who plays with your emotions in this way. Not the asshole. WTH is wrong with your husband. He knows how upset that makes you, and yet he keeps doing it. That's incredibly disrespectful and probably abusive in some ways. You deserve better than that. Not the asshole, because I don't think joking that an important part of your life has a terminal disease is funny. He didn't like the yelling this time, that will teach him on where the line is with jokes. Not the asshole, and I don't know where to start, but your husband is abusing you mentally. He is being incredibly cruel, and if you were to post this on a social network like Facebook, he'd lose every emotionally healthy friend he has. You deserve massively more respect from him than you're getting. Frankly, this level of abuse is toxic to the point of destroying a lot of relationships. Hope that you do whatever it takes to arrive at a healthy relationship. Not the asshole, your husband is a cruel piece of work. Next time, the car and the dog to a hotel or a relative's house, and look up some good divorce attorneys. Not the asshole. Good memories? For who? Why is the emotional torture of his wife funny? These pranks are at your expense solely for his amusement. Would he think a swift kick to his testicles would be a funny prank? I bet he would make a super funny face. It'd be worth it for your amusement, no matter how much it hurt him. He is a huge asshole. Dude, fucking leave. How can you live like that? He's disgusting and has absolutely no regard for you. I'd be walking on eggshells all day. I could not trust him ever again. NYA. I am furious on your behalf. Your husband is despicable. If someone called me and told me my dog had cancer as a prank, I'm not sure I would have been able to stop myself from hitting him. Think long and hard about your future with someone as thoughtless and mean-spirited as your husband. Good luck. Not the asshole, not the asshole, not even a bit of asshole, and your hubby is the awful arsehole one. F him. He knows how much Ollie means to you, and that is such a cruel and awful prank. Note the quotation marks there. That's not a good prank at all. He needs to learn that what he did was wrong. That is not okay to joke about a dog getting cancer. Never okay. If I was in that situation, I'd either make him go to couples counseling or divorce him because he's not listening to you about how much it upset you. Not the asshole. He's a bully. New rule, no more pranks at all. He's not mature enough to understand which ones are mild and which ones are mean. He's lost all rights to pranks. Not the asshole. This is toxic and cruel behavior from him, and there are so many red flags here. If my partner pulled a prank like that, he'd be moving out. Not the asshole. Your husband has a cruel sense of humor, though two can always play at that game. I would take a fake sonogram picture and put it onto a folded piece of paper. Surprise him with the sonogram and then have him open up the piece of paper it's on. The folded piece of paper would be a filing for a divorce. Holy shit, your husband is awful. Making you upset and scared for his entertainment is really fucked up and not normal. It's sadism even if it isn't violent, and it sounds like he's very short on empathy. You're not the asshole, and I'm not one to suggest ending every relationship, but his behavior is honestly scary, especially since you've asked him to stop and he won't. I would seriously rethink your marriage if I were in your shoes. He knows how much worried and stressed out those pranks make me, but he says my reaction is priceless and worth the yelling, lashing afterwards. What? You should be posting in relationships, not AITA. NTA, he is abusing you. Get a divorce and find a man who treats you well. Not the asshole. I almost always roll my eyes when Reddit tells people to divorce people and escalate etc., but no, this guy is a damn monster. He lied about a friend dying. He is psychologically abusing the hell out of you. Would you let him do this to your kids? Can you imagine the damage when he convinces your kids you died as a prank? IDK, what the fuck is wrong with this man? But it is not your job to fix him or figure it out. I would bounce because I would be so angry. Not the asshole. Your husband is simply, deliberately, cruel. Maybe he should not continue as your husband. Not the asshole. People who love you don't do this. There's something seriously messed up with this guy. Location flag. Not the asshole. When you cause someone else to experience anxiety and trauma, it ceases being a joke and starts to be abuse. You didn't do anything wrong here. Not the asshole. This is abuse. I know this subreddit gets a bad reputation for people encouraging posters to end their relationships, but you really need help here. This fiasco with Ollie and the fact that he has pranked others by suggesting a friend died is beyond wrong. This isn't just a questionable sense of humor, this is abuse. While you are deaf, not the asshole, I think this relationship as a whole is above Reddit's pay grade. I would encourage you both, and at the very least you, to seek some sort of counseling so you can better judge if this is a relationship you want to stay in. What's the next step? You have kids and he tells you little Timmy's been kidnapped at the grocery store? Would your reaction be priceless then? He doesn't respect you. That's where relationships start and end with me. Not the asshole. After reading more of the backstory in your responses, there is only one reasonable way to move forward here. You need to sit down with your husband and tell him, point blank, that his jokes about death, injury, illness, etc. are not now, nor have they ever been even remotely amusing. Not to you. Not to his family. And not to the half of his friends who no longer speak to him because of them. Then this is the time for an ultimatum, but you have to be willing to follow through if he doesn't do his part. Either he gets professional help to actually deal with his grief in appropriate and healthy ways, or you're filing for divorce. BF, my beloved wife's reaction when I lie to her is worth the backlash. OP, does understandable backlash. BF, surprised Pikachu face. Not the asshole. He says it was a prank? Okay, then try this experiment. Wait a month or so he doesn't suspect anything, and then call him at work. Admit you've been cheating on him and having sex with 2 different men. You're pregnant and don't know who the father is. Ask him to come home because you need his support. Cry and sound hysterical and remorseful. Really sell it. Then when he gets home, laugh and say it was just a prank. See how he reacts. Something tells me he would be mad and would not think it was a funny prank. Not the asshole. And your husband is terrible. Not the asshole. I think there's something wrong with your husband if he thinks joking about your dog, which was your sister's, having a terminal disease is funny. If this is something he does regularly, it's not a prank, it's cruelty. How he thinks this would be a good memory, I don't know, but I'd take a long look at all of his actions during your relationship and think whether you want to spend the rest of your life with an asshole. Not the asshole. Not so long ago one of my cats got horribly ill. The vets barely managed to save his life. I know perfectly well what it is to worry about your pet and not know if it's going to live. What your husband did was horrible. Tell him he is horrible. Okay, this dude needs therapy because these pranks he does are not okay. And the fact he doesn't understand the hurt he causes despite losing friend over lying about another friend's death? Please get this man into therapy if you wanna continue a life with him. This isn't a prank or just having fun, this is seriously messed up behavior. Like, he needs to see a psychologist about why he likes harming other people to get his jollies. This is not normal. Please don't have kids with him unless he has a complete personality change, because this stuff will cause permanent damage to his kids. Not the asshole. This is absolute divorce territory. Your husband is a fucking monster. Yeet that man into the sun. Not the asshole. Your husband admitted to getting a kick from making you upset and doesn't stop. He needs to get that looked at and you need to sit down and think about being with someone like that. Not the asshole. That wasn't funny. This is abuse and gaslighting. I would be very afraid of having children with this man. He will torture you and then your children when they are old enough. It is telling that his friends have stopped speaking to him. I would leave. Your pain is not for his amusement. There's pranks and then there is taking it too far. Your husband is the asshole here, not you. He must be sick in the head to do that. Not the asshole, your husband is demented if he thinks this crap is funny. Your husband enjoys cruelty. He wanted to see you suffer, he wanted to see his former friends suffer with the previous so-called prank. He's been warned about the effects of his intentional cruelty, he's suffered consequences for it, yet he continues to do it because he gets off on it. You've been married for only a year. He's testing you to see how far he can go. Once the emotional cruelty is no longer enough, he will progress to using his fists. If you are at all in a financial position to do so, divorce the motherfucker already. If you own your home, change the locks the next time he goes out. If you rent, pack a bag and take Ollie to your parents' or best friend's house. Get a lawyer. Serve him with papers. And keep Ollie safe from this sociopath. Not the asshole.